So I've got the S23 Ultra, and this is my review from a filmmaker and photographer's perspective.
Oh, that's so sick.
Now, I'm not going to go over too much of the tech aspects of the phone. There's plenty of videos out there. This one is purely about the camera, the photo, and the video quality. Now, I've already unboxed it, so we're not going to get any of that ASMR style stuff that you guys like, but I did get one video. I hope you enjoyed that. So I've actually had this phone for just over a week now, so I've been able to play around with it, and you're probably wondering, how the heck did I get my hands on it? Well, as I post a lot of social media content using Samsung phones, they invited me to attend the event where they were gonna launch this revolutionary phone. So they flew me out to San Francisco, put me up in a hotel. Not only that, they also said I could bring a +1. So, of course, I invited none other than Joe. You remember Joe from the last video? Yeah, him. Now, the event was the next morning, so that night, we got our bearings straight, went out to eat, and we got an early night so we could be prepared for the next day. Now, of course, we were in San Francisco, so we didn't want to miss a chance to see the Golden Gate Bridge. So the morning before the event, we woke up for sunrise, jumped in an Uber, and we drove to a lookout point of the Golden Gate Bridge. Right after that, we jumped back in an Uber, headed to the hotel to get dressed. We had to go get our passes to get direct access to the event, and there was a guy who worked with AT&T kind of showing us the ropes and taking us around. The event was incredible. Everyone was excited. They showed off that this phone right here can take up to 200 megapixel photos, up to 8K video, do night photography. After the event, they took us to a private Galaxy pop-up location where we got to test the phones and utilize the features that it has in their preset environments.
So
what's happening?
you are going to be taking 10 images on the Galaxy S23 Ultra in portrait mode.
This is crazy.
Anyway, I don't want to talk too much more about that. Basically, at the end of the event, they gave me a phone as well. I really wanted to put the cameras to the test in a different environment. So the day after the event, I flew out to Oregon. And there's this one waterfall I've always wanted to go see, Toki Falls. Now, to get to that waterfall, it consisted of hiking, rock climbing.
I got you.
Anyway, when we got to the waterfall, I took out this bad boy. Now, I didn't use any extra equipment, no stabilizers. It was all handheld. I shot this sequence at 4K resolution at 60 FPS because I knew I wanted to slow it down in post. You definitely want to make sure you're in pro video mode. It's going to let you adjust things like ISO, shutter speed, aperture, focus, which is a big one, and your white balance. So I framed up the shots, and this is what we got. Like, just looking back at the footage, I was genuinely shocked. It's actually good. Like, I don't know if you've seen, like, other phones. I'm not gonna mention any names. They create, like, a fake depth effect, and you can see the halo around the body or the object, and it just looks terrible. This doesn't do that. It actually creates this insane amount of depth, and that's because it's got the ability to drop its aperture, which is gonna give you a greater depth of field, which means a blurrier background. Now, the best part about it is, when you're in pro mode, you can actually select your point of focus and slide it up and down to draw the focus into you or draw it away from you. And it also has focus peaking. When you're in that mode, you're able to use focus peaking to make sure your images are perfectly sharp. So we're focused on his face, and then when he goes to look to the waterfall, I manually slide the focus to the waterfall, capturing that frame right there. Now, I did shoot all of that in vertical, only for the reason that I knew I was going to post it on social media. Now, of course, I did color grade the footage. Color grading goes hand in hand in making your footage look cinematic, and you can just imagine what the 8K looks like. It's double the resolution of that footage. Now, I haven't shot in anything on the 8K footage because I just would never really need it. You know what? I should probably test it. Okay, wait right there. I'll be back.
Okay, you ready? All right. Thank you.
Yep, that's the spot. How's the view? Here we go. Okay, I'm back. This is the 8K video. Just so you guys know, you can't do slow motion on 8K. It only goes up to 30 frames a second. Now, it doesn't shoot log or raw video files, so you work with what you've got. For a phone sensor, it's not going to do wonders, but it's still enough to get your footage looking good. Now let's jump over to the photo side of things. And the one thing of the camera I do want to show you is the 200 megapixel photo. This thing is insane. Look at this photo. When you scale it in, it's absolutely incredible. Well, I've never seen that on a smartphone. 200 megapixel has never been on any smartphones. This is the first one to have it. So if you want 200 megapixels, you want to scale in your photos, you want to zoom in, you want to print your photos, this is definitely the phone to go with. And if 200 megapixels is not enough, you can capture the night sky with their advanced night photography modes. Where I live in Arizona, we have Sedona, which is one of the best places to stargaze in the world. Not only that, I took my friend, an internationally renowned landscape astrophotographer, Sean Parker. Yo, come on, this way you come in.
What's up, bro? Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me. Thanks, guys.
His work truly speaks for himself. He's the best astrophotographer I know of, and I wanted to work with him to take the best possible image we can. We made the trek out to Sedona and hiked to a secret location that Sean took me to get one of the best views possible. And of course, for night photography, you have to wait until nighttime. So we spent about 2 hours waiting for the sun to go down.
It's freezing. How much longer?
One shot, now the future is yours. Go. Yeah, I was building on a lecture.
So using Samsung's night mode, it's pre-built into the phone. We set up a tripod, put the phone on there because when you're doing night photography, you don't want to have any shakes whatsoever. You need the phone to be perfectly still. The way you're actually able to capture the night through your photos is by a slow shutter, which means when you're taking a photo, the shutter's not closing very quickly. It's actually staying open and just drawing in as much light as it can. It's pulling it from every light source possible. We kept the shutter open for 30 seconds, and this is the photo we got.
Oh, that is so sick.
God. We were both freaking out.
Sean, what are we thinking?
Dude, for a phone, oh my god. You can adjust the ISO, the white balance, the shutter speed, and you can actually get the reflections in the shot, which is unreal.
Samsung, what the bloody hell are you doing? This is too good to be a phone.
Literally like straight out of camera. It's friggin' crazy. Look at that. It has a mode where you can view the constellation. So if you want to take a specific photo of, say, like Orion's belt, you can capture them on here. You can see where the constellations are and it's going to pinpoint that so you can take the perfect photo. Not only that, it does that 100-time optical zoom. I went into my backyard the other day and took a photo of the moon, zoomed it in 100 times, and it has this stabilization mode where, like, even if you're a little shaky, it kind of just stabilizes it. The 100-time zoom, it's not the best. Obviously, the quality is not too crazy as it is a digital zoom, so it gets to a certain point and then it's using all this computer stuff to make it go even further. I don't know what you're gonna do with it, but it's pretty cool. If you're into photo and video and content creation of any sort, I mean, you can't go wrong with this. It's a pretty nifty device. I know there's always a debate on which phone's best. At the end of the day, whatever's gonna make your life easier, whatever fits in with your workflow, I recommend go with that. Also, I forgot to mention a cool little thing this phone has. They're able to squeeze in what they call the S Pen. So this pen is pretty dope. It does a bunch of things, but the one reason I personally use it is because this pen acts as a shutter button. Basically, you put the phone down, you can be anywhere, press the little button on the side of this pen. You don't have to worry about doing a timer and getting it perfect. You can just stand there and blast as many photos as you want. And in terms of editing the files on this phone, what I do to edit the photos and videos is use Samsung's quick share feature, which is similar to AirDrop, to basically get the files from this phone to any computer or Mac you're using. Yes, you can now send any files you want from a Samsung to an Apple device seamlessly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it gave you insight. Maybe you're potentially looking at what phone to get, so I hope this video made it any easier. If you have any questions or I haven't touched on anything, drop them down in the comments and I'll make sure to get back to you. And if you liked the video, chuck it a thumbs up, subscribe if you wanna, and yeah, take it easy.